Well, then I remember, I think it was the same year, 42, in October, they picked us out. We had to go on this detail to Mugden, Manchuria. They loaded us on a cargo ship, and we were escorted with the Japanese Navy destroyers and so on. We left the Philippines on October 6th, and when we were out in the China Sea, American submarine, they must have spotted this small convoy of Japanese vessels, because we could hear that the Japanese destroyers or whatever they were dropping depth bombs. You could hear them explode, and then on that prison ship we were in, we were packed in just like sardines. No beds, no nothing. Wherever you and people had dysentery, and the one that died on the boat, they just threw them overboard, you know. And then we stopped at promotion. They took the ones that were the worst ones that were sick, that couldn't walk or nothing. They took them off the ship. And from Formosa we went to Busan, Korea. There we got off the ship and walked to this train depot where we were walking. The Koreans at that particular time, and the Japanese, they were spitting at us and I don't know, making different remarks. I don't know what they were saying, but I know they sure didn't like the Americans. And from the train depot, we took a train up to Mugden, Manchuria. In Mugden, Manchuria, there we got off and we marched out to this camp. It was at that particular time, the first winter, coming from a tropical zone to a temperate climate. All we had was just khaki wear, and our barracks were, the only thing that was above the ground was the roof, and we were in these barracks where with no heat, and the weather was as cold as below zero, and but the only thing that kept us warm was a blanket what they gave us. And in that first winter, I would say half of this detail that left the Philippines with it, there was 1,495. That was the highest number. My number was 802. And I'd say that first winter, close to, I'd say, a third died of this 1,495. From exposure, dysentery and malnutrition, your lips were just all raw, and here in the corners of your mouth, it was just like you had cut in there, because from malnutrition, you know. And I got this berry in my legs, and then your equilibrium, it seemed like you couldn't walk straight, you know. The first winter was the hardest in that particular prison camp. In that spring, there wasn't enough able-bodied, I mean that winter, there wasn't enough able-bodied people to bury the dead, so they made boxes for them and put them in this one building, so when spring came, they could be buried. And then they made us work in this machine factory, and after working in there for a year, then they moved us in another, made us work in a textile mill. There wasn't a day when somebody, the Japanese would, guards and so on, would beat you up or beat your person alongside us, accuse you of something that which we didn't do, but when they dropped the A-bomb on Hiroshima, the Russians came in and liberated us. They came into the war several weeks before they dropped the A-bomb, and we could hear artillery and so on, and then they liberated us, and then we took over the camp and put the Japanese where we were, you know. And we stayed up in Mugden for, it was about 2 weeks. So they had to repair a bridge. Then they put us on a train, and there was a hospital ship at Port Arthur, USS Hope, that they put us on USS Hope, and whoever was sick and so on. Then we went to Okinawa, and from Okinawa we went back to the Philippines to 29th Replacement Depot, and we were sent back to the States and processed here and discharged. It wasn't hardly a month went by without you wasn't spitting blood. What it mean, they'd slap you, you know. We had, at night, you know, we always had somebody stationed in the barracks that we'd have to report to the Japanese guards when they checked during the night, you know, one person, and then they'd come up to you and say you sleep, in which you wasn't, you know, but they say you was asleep, and if you said no, then this one especially said, you sleep. I said, no. You sleep. No. Then he started beating on you, you know, tell you, yes, I sleep. So after you said yes, then they'd walk off, which you wasn't, but they made you say what they wanted to hear.